If Dillon clears concussion protocol, he'll be back as your starter.
Yes, but he's got, that's obviously a lot into that protocol. A lot goes into that, so we'll see.
For the backup to be a rookie and to be so flagrantly unprepared, which Shedeur Sanders looked like, I find to be suspicious. So I'm glad they announced that he's the starter. I'm glad he's going to get his first team reps and stuff like that. I get it. I understand. I'm looking forward to it. And I want to say this last point. Shedeur Sanders, I can't think of a game that's going to be more important. He can't come out this week and stink up the joint going 4 for 16 like he did last week. Nobody is giving him a pass.
His voice sharpens. The tone gets heavier. He says that if Shedeur stinks it up again like last week, then the Cleveland Browns will have a real credibility problem. No one laughs. No one interrupts. It is one of those moments where the truth feels louder than the words. It shows the pressure. It shows the confusion. It shows how badly the team has mishandled the quarterback room. And at the center of it all stands Shedeur Sanders, who suddenly carries the weight of a franchise that still looks lost.
First time, it is Shedeur Sanders. Fans do not know that Gabriel is being evaluated for a concussion, but they were chanting.
This moment is where everything begins. This is where fans realize just how difficult of a position Shedeur is walking into. He is not stepping into a stable system. He is not being guided by a prepared coaching plan. He is being thrown into a moving car while the highway is already on fire. The media panel knows it. The analysts know it. Even some of Shedeur's teammates know it. Hit the like button and subscribe if you are enjoying this breakdown. It helps the channel grow and lets us bring more NFL stories to you. If you love Shedeur, then comment SS 100%. It becomes a warning. It becomes a prediction. It becomes a challenge for Shedeur himself.
Nobody is giving him a pass. He goes out there and he stinks up the joint this weekend. People are going to be saying he don't belong in the league yet. It's going to be bad. He is under immense pressure to at least look respectable this week.
I think we're
especially against the Raiders.
I want to maintain my place on First Take, so let me come a little bit hotter here. That was tepid. You're right, Stephen A. I apologize for that. That was.
The first big question that rises from that moment is simple. How do you expect a rookie quarterback to succeed when he has not taken real first-team reps? Not one full week, not one real practice cycle. The offense barely knows his voice. The offensive line barely knows his cadence. These are not small issues. These are the foundations of a working offense. Without that chemistry, a quarterback is standing on unstable ground. He can read every play correctly. He can make good decisions, but if the wide receivers are running routes based on timing he never practiced with, the throw may never land where it needs to be. And yet the Browns are asking Shedeur to do it on the fly. They are asking him to step into a situation where the team itself has not been built around him. They are asking him to be the spark for an offense that has struggled for years. They are expecting him to be the answer. And all of that pressure lands on a player who is still trying to learn what it means to be an NFL quarterback. This is why the analysts are heated. This is why the panel explodes, because they know the narrative that will form if Shedeur fails. It will not be about preparation. It will not be about coaching. It will not be about the lack of reps with the starters. It will be about him. It will be about his performance. It will be about his readiness. And the worst part is that most fans will not know the full story. They will only see the numbers. They will only see the stat line. They will only see the mistakes. They will not see the context behind those mistakes.
Nobody is giving him a pass. He goes out there and he stinks up the joint this weekend. People are going to be saying he don't belong in the league yet. It's going to be bad. He is under immense pressure to at least look respectable this week.
I think we're
especially against the Raiders.
I want to maintain my place on First Take, so let me come a little bit hotter here. That was tepid. You're right, Stephen A. I apologize for that. That was.
But here is the part that turns the entire situation upside down. Kevin Stefanski admits that this week is the first time Shedeur has taken snaps with the starting unit. Think about that for a moment. This quarterback was drafted into a team that clearly needed stability. He was drafted into a team that already had questions at the position. And yet he went through an entire offseason and preseason without meaningful work with the ones. Not once. The panel calls it irresponsible. The fans call it confusing. The The truth is that it is a setup that almost guarantees growing pains. If anything, this moment exposes something deeper about the Browns. It shows how shaky the quarterback plan truly is. They drafted Dillon Gabriel. They drafted Shedeur. They kept Deshaun Watson, even though his health and consistency are uncertain. They tried to build a three-way competition without a clear direction. And when Gabriel went down with a concussion, they suddenly turned to Shedeur as if he had been groomed and trained for this moment all along. But he had not. They rushed him into a job that requires preparation they never gave him. So here becomes another question for the viewers. Do you believe Shedeur is being judged fairly, or is he being measured against expectations he was never prepared for? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to know where you stand.
Where's the guy that was saying, what's up with the cadence issue? What's up with no first-team reps? What's up with the fact that Kevin Stefanski is a two-time NFL Coach of the Year, 2020 and 2023, having a quarterback who's a rookie so flagrantly ill-prepared to be on the football field last week? Where that Peter Schrager at? Now, come on, man. Come on now. This is what I'm talking about here. This is what I'm talking about here when I'm talking about. Listen, in the interest of full disclosure, Doggy, Swagoo, and Peter, I said this with Shay yesterday. I root for Kevin Stefanski. Let me tell you why. I know his daddy. Ed Stefanski is a long-time NBA executive. We go back decades. I love that man, okay? And that's his son. So I'll never root against Kevin Stefanski. And Kevin Stefanski comes into the NFL, and he immediately shows he's a hell of a coach. Again, I'm not saying rookies, starting.
Because this is not just a football story. This is a story about pressure. This is a story about timing. This is a story about a young quarterback walking into the storm with almost no warning. And that is why the analysts on the panel look concerned. They know what happens to young quarterbacks who get rushed before they are ready. They become easy targets. The media turns on them. Fans turn on them. Their confidence drops. Their mechanics fall apart. And once that spiral begins, it is extremely difficult to recover from. Look at history. Look at the quarterbacks who were thrown into broken systems. Look at the careers that collapsed because the organization did not know how to develop players. That is the path the analysts fear for Shedeur. Not because he lacks talent, not because he lacks discipline, but because talent and discipline mean nothing without a stable environment to grow in. Now let's break down the actual football situation he is facing. The Browns' offensive line is one of the most physical units in the league, but they are heavily dependent on timing. A quarterback needs to command the cadence. He needs full trust from the line. If the linemen do not know the rhythm of their quarterback, then false starts happen. Delayed protections happen. Defensive lines get free shots at the quarterback. This is why reps with the ones matter. This is why chemistry matters. It is not about favoritism. It is about survival. The wide receivers have the same challenge. They run their routes based on timing and instinct with the quarterback. Every quarterback has a different throwing rhythm. Some throw early, some wait. Some prefer tight windows, some prefer bigger cushions. When a new quarterback steps in without having practiced those routes together, it becomes guesswork. Routes that once looked crisp suddenly look disconnected. A throw that should have been perfect lands just a step behind or a step ahead of the receiver. And who gets blamed for that? Not the offensive system, not the lack of reps. The quarterback gets blamed. That is the reality of the position. The quarterback gets judged on everything, even the things he can't control. If Shedeur performs poorly, the Browns will be questioned. Their leadership will be questioned. Their development plan will be questioned. And fans will demand answers. The organization knows this. The coaching staff knows this. The pressure is on everyone, not just Shedeur. But here is the twist in this story. Pressure like this can break some players, but it can also create greatness. Some quarterbacks rise when they are pushed too soon. Some find their voice in chaos. Some find their confidence because they have no choice but to perform. Shedeur has shown flashes of mental toughness that most rookies do not have. He has shown discipline. He has shown patience. He has shown a calm mindset even in stressful moments. So the big question becomes simple. Which version of Shedeur will show up on Sunday? The overwhelmed rookie or the rising competitor who thrives under pressure? Comment your prediction below because this is a real debate. There is no easy answer. Hit the like button and subscribe if you are enjoying this breakdown. It helps the channel grow and lets us bring more NFL stories to you. If you love Shedeur, then comment SS 100%. Now, let's talk about something even more important, the locker room. Because everything that happens on the field starts with what happens in the locker room. Players pay attention to who gets reps. They pay attention to the roles coaches assign. When a rookie never gets practice with the ones and suddenly becomes the starter, the entire locker room feels that shift. Some players support it, some question it, some stay silent, but you can sense the energy changing. For Shedeur, this could be the moment where he earns the trust of the veterans. If he steps into the huddle and commands it with confidence, the players will feel it. If he delivers a few strong throws early in the game, the team will rally behind him. But if he hesitates or looks unsure, the locker room will sense that too. And nothing spreads faster in football than doubt. So this is not just a game for Shedeur. It is a test of leadership. It is a test of communication. It is a test of resilience. And fans will be watching every second to see how he responds. There is also the question of play calling. Will Stefanski adjust the offense to match Shedeur's strengths? Will he simplify the system? Will he allow Shedeur to use his timing game? Or will he force him into the same system they built around Gabriel? Because that decision will decide everything. A coach who tailors the offense to the quarterback can elevate him. A coach who forces a quarterback into the wrong system can destroy him. This is another place where fans should drop their thoughts in the comments. Do you think Stefanski will adjust for Shedeur, or will he run the same plan and hope it works? As the panel discusses this situation, you can feel the concern, you can feel the frustration, you can feel the urgency in their voices. Because they are not just talking about a quarterback for one game. They are talking about the future of the Browns. They are talking about a player who could become the face of the franchise if handled correctly, or another lost rookie if mishandled. And the final point here is the emotional side of the story. Shedeur grew up around pressure. He grew up with the expectations of being the son of Deion Sanders. He grew up around cameras. He grew up around competition, so he is not new to pressure. But this is a different level. This is the NFL. This is a franchise that desperately needs stability. This is a fan base that wants hope. And this is a moment where Shedeur can rise into a new chapter or struggle under circumstances that were not fully in his control. The truth will come out on the field. And no matter what the result, the story of how Shedeur handles this moment will follow him for the rest of his rookie season.